Let's take a look around the Google Gmail wrapper here so that you can get an idea, flavor of how the whole interface works. Up here you have a search bar that actually searches within Gmail, not the same as using your Omnibox or a search box for your internet browser up at the very top. You also see, again, you have this black bar up here of all the different Google items that you can get to, including the more items. But we're going to focus on Gmail in particular. Let's go down the left-hand side here first, just to kind of bring things to light. First thing is, this isn't just Gmail that you're actually in. If you click on this mail button, you can manage your contacts. This is your Google contacts throughout, so that when you start working with Google Apps, all those contact groups and things that you create will actually all be lumped together. And you can also manage your tasks. This is sort of like a checklist or a honey-do list area that you can go to. And every time you click on each one of these, watch the middle of the screen and how it completely changes once that loads. So now I no longer have my email in the middle here. I have new contact button instead of compose button. And I have all of my circle and friends information over here. And even some of these menu items along the top are different. But I'm going to go from contacts back to mail here. And I'm going to show you around a little bit of the top banner just so that you get an idea of what things look like and how they function. First and foremost, realize that as you hover over anything, it's going to tell you basically what it is. The More button, however, has a couple of options right here, and as you begin to add in labs and some other things, this More button actually may contain other things within inside of it. Also, watch what happens when I click on one of these threaded emails here. So if I put a check mark in here, all of a sudden this bar up here, I call this the morphing menu bar up here, completely changes. Now I have a ton more options once I've actually selected an item to work on. You'll notice this one right here, I can archive it. That's sort of like deleting it, but not fully deleting it. It's going to get it out of all your labels and folders and all that stuff, and it's going to just harvest it away from a usable area and kind of put it off to the side where you could retrieve it if you absolutely need to, but for all intents and purposes, it's gone. It's a nice way to delete things safely. You can also hit the delete button right here, and that puts it into your trash folder. You also have report spam, and this is a wonderful piece of Gmail, and there's a video actually based on this and why this and how this report spamming really works. But it's nice and easy that you can report spam even without opening your email. You just click on it, you realize it's asking you to donate money or save some Ugandan tribe, and you can come up here and click on report spam. It reports that as spam to Google for you and everyone else. Delete, like I said, here we have the move to, and next we have the labels piece, and we're going to go over those quite a bit more in depth later on, but those two buttons will act on either one of these. So if I move this, I can move it to any of these labels. If I click on this labels button, it kind of does the same thing, and you're going to see exactly how that works here in just a little bit. Now notice More suddenly has a lot more to it. I can mark all of these as red, I can give them stars, I can filter them, I can mute them. All these things will make more sense as we move through this, but just realize that this More button does a lot more now that you have things checked. That's just how it works. So I'm going to uncheck these now and migrate all the way over to the top right up here, where we see, again, I have my name, and if I click on my name, I can add an account, or I can do the same exact thing from down here in the profile section. I can go and toggle back and forth between my personal account, my account I'm currently on, or I can even add a third, fourth, or fifth account in there that I want to jump back and forth between. These two little doodads right here are buttons that are related to Google+. So if you're not a Google+ user yet, these won't mean a whole lot to you. These will start to show up as you get notifications, and these will allow you to share new things with Google+. They're just an integrated piece. Down here you have back and forth between which emails you're in, and then you have the mother of all buttons, the settings button, and we are going to get into this in detail later on, but right here you can see some of the simple things you can do are set up the way that things look and feel within Gmail. Even if you don't dig down into the hardcore settings, you can do some basic settings right there in the drop down of the settings. Over here now on the left, right underneath mail is compose. That's how you send an email to somebody. You compose it and then you send it off. But down here you have different labels that have been created by default through Gmail, and in later videos, like I said, you will see how to actually create these labels and manage these labels a little bit more. But if you scroll down a little ways underneath those labels, or if you go over here, you'll notice this thing pops open as you hover over it. But underneath there, you have things that have to do with chat and video and Hangouts, and all of that will be illuminated later on. But I want you to realize that underneath this label section and underneath this chat section, if you go into labs and you start adding things in here like document search and all of those other things, this panel over here may be added to as you move along. So you might end up with more and more things over in this panels area of Gmail. That is almost the very last thing, except for that I want to show you that this is not just that search bar that I was talking about before, but it has a drop down area to it. If you notice, when you click on that drop down, and things actually load in any amount of time here, you can actually search with the advanced search settings by just hitting that down arrow, and you can really tweak the way you want to search your mail items. You can pick the different labels, you can even say whether it's to or from, subject, and you can put all kinds of parameters within there however you'd like. And when you're done, you hit the search blue button in the bottom left corner and you are finished. That's basically it for this quick tour of the Google user interface, the Google wrapper, Gmail wrapper rather. Get started as you'd like. Enjoy.